Well, guys, we stopped back there at that pilot to stretch the legs, let Cookie out to use the bathroom, and then freshen up. We were fighting sleep pretty good there, so yeah, I wanted to wash the face and get some coffee, try to stay safe and alert. But that was a new pilot back there, and they had just opened up the day before, so it was kind of a little bit of a chaotic area to be in because they were still finishing up construction, as well as not everything was in its place, and so it was a little hard to find stuff. But the guys were really nice. The people working inside were very friendly, very nice. A new pilot, yeah, I know once it gets figured out, it'll be a really nice place. At this point, we're just now coming into Birmingham here, and we're still not to Montgomery, so we had an early morning, which is why we were fighting sleep. So alrighty, guys, we just got here to get unloaded. We were waiting in line as a truck under the crane here at a job site that they're gonna unload us at. So we gotta wait. So we're waiting right here. I'll show you here. So there's a truck over there. Can't see it very well, but he's getting unloaded. There's part of the crane there. We gotta back in under there. We're gonna pull. We're gonna turn this way and then back in this way. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm not gonna be able to film because it's gonna gonna be really fast moving. So yeah, I'll get it done, and I'll get back with you then. But pretty good ride so far. Down here, about 5.5 hours down here. So. Alrighty guys, so we got unloaded there, and we're headed to our reload. So we're just now leaving Montgomery, Alabama, headed up to Jasper, Alabama to pick up our reload of lumber. I'll take it up to Indiana. It's a customer load that we're going to pick up, so I do this load fairly often actually, so it's kind of a repeat thing for me. But anyways, we're headed northbound here. I kind of enjoy doing those loads at job sites. They very interesting loads sometimes, going to very interesting job sites at times. I've been to many different job sites, from prisons to, oh my, I can't even think of them, new ports, like new ports that they're building, just new warehouses to apartments, yeah, you name it. It's always kind of enjoyable. Sometimes it can be kind of hair-raising depending where you're going into, especially if it's downtown. We went downtown today, which wasn't too bad. So, I mean, unlike some bigger cities, you know, like I've been in downtown Nashville with loads like that. That can be kind of hair-raising. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna head on up the road here and head over to our reload. We've got about 2 hours up there, so we're gonna drive for a while here. So I'll see you in a bit. well, we just got loaded and strapped down, so we are headed to roll now. This load here is going to Montgomery, Indiana. So yeah, it's one of our customers that we're hauling this load for. They do a lot of pole barns. They ship throughout the entire United States of America. So gonna run it up here to Graver Post is where we're going to go. So yeah, let's get on the road here. We sat here for, let's see, we got here about 2.5 hours, right at 2.5 hours. So waited in line. So anyway, yeah, tell you what, it's warming up out there. It's 75 degrees outside right now. Yeah, definitely spring is here. Loving the weather though, so I can't complain. Anyhow, let's get on the road here and get some driving done. Alrighty guys, so we are coming in here to this weigh station. This is what we call a super coupe because it has the main office or main building for the DOT officers, and then it also has a inspection barn where they have 2 bays in there with wells in it where the officers will go underneath the will go down in the hole and they can walk underneath the truck and just kind of inspect it. So that's the reason we call it a super coupe. This is here in Tennessee. These guys are pretty strict. So this is kind of what it's like. We have a small scale we have to go across first, and then we have those lights back there that are on that bridge there. Those lights will give us either a red or a green, telling us which direction to go. And fortunately, I got the green light to go through the bypass lane, which makes me happy all the time whenever I get the green lights. So yeah, that's kind of what it's like for us. We are required to go into weigh stations because we're a commercial vehicle. So guys, well, we're gonna call that a day. We just got parked here, so drove for several hours, and we got several hours to go in the morning for delivery. I was talking with the boss last night, and he gave me the rest of my dispatch for most of the week, so it sounds like we're gonna have an interesting week. Just a couple of repeats. So anyhow, I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like the video, to subscribe, and comment down below. Until next time, keep on trucking.